If you do have any questions, you can always come and ask us, but we are alive to help you. We're here to support you, and that's what our business is built on. It's not about recruiting here for the agents. It's about building your business, and that is based off selling homes, not trying to recruit your friends out there to try and make a nickel off their stuff, but to build your business off selling homes. If that's what you're about, you're in the best spot right here. That's what we'll keep on with. And here's some good things that go along with that. Jeff, I'm going to pass over you for a minute. Sorry. Okay. So, I'll come back to you. Don't worry, Jeff. But here's what's going on. So, one, dotloop was ordered about a month ago. The staff has been getting trained. We're going to be rolling that out in about 60 days. Actually, less than 60 days, but I put that in there because we are reliant upon the dotloop staff to train our staff. We've got 3 more training sessions to go, and then we'll be announcing that out. If you have not worked with dotloop, the thing is it's going to clean up a lot of the processes that we have to go through and make things a lot easier so that you guys can have more pay at close by having our paperwork really streamlined and have us be able to communicate better with you guys. Your paperwork and you want to get paid at close. Who here wants to get paid at close versus having to wait on check? Going straight to you in your hands when you walk out the door versus having to wait on anything here. By the way, 1-day turnaround, that's not bad as a company, but we'll be going to dotloop. It is going to be a good system. They've simplified it significantly. So I think you're going to love it in the end. It'll be our paper storage system. It's going to be everything. So it's going to make life easier once you get it down. Yes?
Is it fully replacing paperless pipeline?
It will be fully replacing paperless pipeline. Now, let me say this. Does everybody have to use it for their contracts? No. It's our new storage system. Okay? So I want you guys to adapt to the system because it is an excellent system that you can be on vacation somewhere and do by your phone and go create the contract and create the loop and invite everybody to participate that way. It is very easy. So once you get it down, but you got to be committed to getting it down. Same thing as DocuSign, same thing as eSign. So it's just learn that new system and it'll just simplify your world. If you don't, and you bring us your contract on a napkin, okay, we will still take that. We're going to download it into dotloop though, okay? So we'll be our storage tank. I'm not going to mandate that everybody does it. I'm going to say, I believe if you're in the business for the long haul, you want to get into the technologies that help you be more efficient. Yes, it will be some new that you have to learn, but it is a great system that I know that will be beneficial for all. 2, new listing magazine that we're coming out with. This is the rough draft. We're no longer going to have the little folders with the insert of loose leaf papers in it. We want to go to a higher, more clean look, if you will, and talk to the consumer. So it'll be about a 25 to 30 page book. We've had a graphics guy go through and really clean everything up. Letter from me to the consumer, but this is the rough draft of what it's going to be. So within the next couple of weeks, these will be going to print, and they're included. So we hope that you'll use them. But the goal is for you to have a very nice looking thing. We're not out to be Sotheby's. We want to play right in that middle. We really operate well in the 300s and up price point. We can cover any price range, but this really matches up with who we are, what we are, and you can take this into any price range and feel very good about what you're taking in. So this will be coming out in the next couple of weeks, but I'm very excited about how it looks. If you want to take a look at it, feel free to take a look at this. We're going to be changing a couple things in here and adding a couple pages, but outside of that, just look at this and go, hey, this is a rough draft. You'll look at one page that says Ipsum, Lorem, whatever. I mean, that's what's going in there. So I want to have it printed up that way you can see what it's going to look like, see, touch, and feel. But excellent quality. Check it out. We're going to have 2 of them made. One will be for the company in general. If you want to pay for your own and have a custom book for yourself, we'll have an option where you'll have 2 pages here that'll be 100% custom to you. And they're only like $1.60 per book. You can order just a book of 50. So we've worked a phenomenal deal with the print shop. The graphics guy, we've got a phenomenal deal with that. You really won't have any you will not have graphics charges. All you have to do is pay for the books, but you'll have 2 full pages that you can customize to whatever you want. The rest of them will be driven by us wanting to sell our products, so they don't have to worry about that. And then the front 2 pages will be all about you. So, does that make sense? Yes.
Are they going to provide a template to where when those are ready to roll out, we can go ahead and have that being worked on and order them?
Are they custom pages?
For these 2, yes. I want to make sure you're not saying for the whole thing. Yes, for the 2 pages, we'll make it very easy for you. But really what you need to do is just get us the information, get us your picture, get us the data, and we'll communicate with the graphics guy and get that put in for you. He's been phenomenal. Yeah. really good stuff. And so this is our first time working with our graphics guy, and the printer we've been working with for a while, but unbelievable pricing, and we're just going to be passing that on to you guys so that you can go, hey, I want everybody in here to have the best look out there for the most reasonable dollar, or you can have this for free or create your own at a very, very low price. So, and only a run of 50. Typically, to get that pricing, you got to be running thousands of prints. So, very cool operation. I got to say, Dee brought us the print shop, so thank you, Dee.
Yes,
You and Jim Bullis had both worked with them, but you were the one that kind of brought it together.
I get it all.
There's Dee taking all the credit.
I get all the credit on that.
So let's give Dee a round of
Know what
applause.
you're talking about.
Bring it down. All right, ZAP is getting better each month. I'm part of the National Broker Congressional Committee for Century 21, so I was up there about a month ago. Here's what's happening. ZAP has been rolled out. ZAP, as we all knew, was going to have things that they were going to work through each and every month. They have a long schedule of things that are going on. The biggest glitch that was happening, which is being cleaned up this month, was if you did not have in your zip code as an agent or us as a company that you controlled and handled that area. Let's say you had a listing over in Stone Mountain, but in your zip code, you did not check off that Stone Mountain zip code because you really worked up here and that was a one-off. That lead on anybody that would click on that would go to a broker, not necessarily this one, that had that as their checkbox versus coming to you because it's your listing.
Oh, fail.
It was basically built as a one company, one solution thing, not a multiple owner office type thing. So that's being cleaned up this week. What we did in the process when I found that out, we came back and we basically clicked everybody's boxes to have all the zip codes so we could protect you and not have your leads going to another broker. So everybody should be getting every one of their leads right now, but that was happening and that's being cleaned up this month. Once it is, we'll go back and we'll put in the zip codes that you specifically want. So does that make sense? So that's the only thing that was like a considerable problem that I was like, okay, what can we do? So we managed through that for you guys. If you have a separate URL and you go, hey, I'm going to keep using it until they get this thing 100% clean. What I'm going to tell you is eventually ZAP is going to be the system you want to have everything in because of how it rates all the people in your system. And the more you have it in there, the more people go to it, the better off it is. Scott Welchel just got a lead through ZAP. They came to him as like a $380,000 home that they wanted to see. He's ended up writing a contract on an $800,000 home on acreage through ZAP, and that just happened last week. So I'm pointing that out because it's a clean system, it works well, and if you're working it, you'll be able to control and get leads like that. If you're not, you're going to miss out on some great opportunities. So make sure, even if you got your own URL, you need to be getting used to ZAP because it will be, everything's been integrated through that. So eventually within the next year, it's going to be very robust and you want to be using that as your main frame. Food Truck Friday's back, May 20th. It looks like we're going to be having the varsity come. So we'll be running that on out back. We'll be having fun. That'll be spring, summer. We do the Food Truck Friday. We did it last year and it was a great time. The whole goal of that is that you come, just have fun. It's once a month. We're going to be running it through the summer months. And it's just to come relax, have fun. We may have beer, we may not. We may have margaritas, we may not. We'll have something that goes along with fun. We've had dunk tank last year. We've had a whole bunch of different things. So make sure you pay attention to that. And last, has anybody taken Tom Gillette's former classes? You can't fix stupid, right? Yeah. This is a licensed law class. So we're going to be bringing it here to the office. It is called You Can't Fix Stupid. Even if you've seen it in the past, this is the new edition. So it is the same format. What it is it's a class that Tom Gillette teaches. You get 3 hours of continuing education, but it's also part of your license law moving forward that every 4 years you have to have qualified in some of the license law courses. This is one of those. In that, you'll go over case studies of things that people did not realizing they were breaking the law and how much that could damage your credibility out there, but also get you in trouble with the Georgia Real Estate Commission. And it's things that you go, are you kidding me? Somebody did that? And then other things you'll go, are you kidding me? That's against the law. So that'll be a great class we're going to be having within the next 30 days. We were going to try to have it in May. I just don't know if we can wedge it in there or not. More to come on that, but that'll be a great class that everybody should want to go to, and it is free. So yes.
Update on Code of Ethics? Are we getting that scheduled?
Not yet.
Okay.
We can't. Why? Because I have to have mine done by June 22nd. So probably going to happen somewhere between here and there. So since I've got to do it, why not have it here, right? But I do have to say, on the You Can't Fix Stupid class, it is not a cheap class. So Fidelity and McMichael and Gray are partnering in with us so we can deliver it to you guys and not have a charge go out of your pocket, but partnering with them, and that's very good. So give them a nice round of applause. And that's that. So, let's go back to there. Mortgage Matters. Jeff Zuloff, come on out. Let's go. What time is it, Jeff?
It's showtime.
It's showtime. You better
Where's my
raise it up.
musical intro here? Come on. Do I get to stand up here too? No, well, we'll try and do something a little different. My 3.75 rates had sex with my 3.5 rates. So now the current no point rate is 3.625. Get where I'm coming from? Got your, do I have your attention now? The word sex?
Jeff, how does that play into the Northwest thing?
Well, that's more polygamy.
That doesn't have anything to do with North
My
Carolina.
rates are more monogamous. So, no, but right now, the 2.875 15-year fix had sex with the 2.625 and created a 2.75 no point 15-year rate. The arms, I priced one the other day, 2.75 on an arm for a 7-year. That's strong with no points. Get down to 2.5. So now unemployment numbers were flat, so rates are going to stay low for a while. The Fed's already said they're not going to raise rates till the end of the year, or at least talk about it as much. So that's good. All good news so far. And we talked about the appraisals coming in a little bit lower. So be careful out there when you're taking buyers around. Look for comps when you're pricing your houses for your sellers. Starting to see a few low appraisals coming through. We talked about personal property. If you do a personal property agreement in the contract, lose it. I don't need it. Don't want to see it. Keep it out of the contract. Termite letters, I keep hammering it home. If you put it in the contract, the underwriter will ask for a clean termite letter. On FHA, we don't need it anymore. If you put it in the contract though, they'll require it. So don't put it in the contract. They're a pain in the butt to deal with if you can help it. But if you need to protect your buyer, obviously, put it in the contract. They're easy to deal with. That's about all I have. Anything out there? Questions?
So are you okay with just putting the personal items in the seller's disclosure then as part of, can we slide it that way?
No, they have to be attached.
Unless you guys start refinancing personal property anymore.
Well-
That would be in the contract. You're not financing personal property. Leave it out.
Yeah, just leave it out.
Separate bill of sale.
Separate bill of sale.
If you start
Yeah, just
looking
do a
at
separate
hot
bill of
tub,
sale.
Patio set.
And then don't give it.
Yeah.
Throw it away.
And you're gonna have that part.
Separate bill of sale and don't send it to them.
No, your lender.
All that.
This is the.
But,
So a 5-1 arm, 30-year, 2.75.
the 5-year arm's gonna be more like 2.5. So you've got more than a 1-point spread in the arms, which is worth it. There's gotta be a cost benefit or something that's worth the risk. So if it's more than 1 point, and if you work for a company where you know you're gonna get moved every 5 years, why would you do a 30-year fix? I wouldn't. So,
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Sit on down.
thanks for all your
Y'all know we're in for the wildest ride of any political dance we've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Have y'all seen the commercials already starting to fly out there?
Oh, yeah.
I gotta say, the first Hillary commercial, I sat there when I listened to it, I couldn't help but laugh. I was like, that's pretty good. And since that's just starting off with this, woo, I can't wait to see what comes back. It's gonna be good. Most entertaining, interesting, who the heck knows what's gonna happen and who the heck knows where our country's going after November rolls around. But it's gonna be one heck of a ride. So buckle up and let's go. And I say that in result of what Jeff said about the Feds going, hey, we're not going to raise the short-term rates until at least the end of the year, get through the election and stuff. They're not going to shake anything up. But what I'm going to tell you guys is this. If you have anybody that's thinking about buying in the next year, you'll never have the opportunity that you're having today with the low interest rates for the extended period of time that they can lock into. If somebody wants to buy investment real estate properties, rental properties, Never a better time than right now because your payments over time are gonna be locked in at a very low interest. What are investor loans at right now, Jeff?
I did 3.99 on a 30-year fix with 25% down. If they put 20 down, the minimum's 20%, it's probably 4.25, which is still great. Rates are awesome.
Never a better time to take a chance on the rental market, especially if it's in a good school district. Somebody wants to start increasing wealth that way. Somebody told me a great plan. And I was like, you know what? I used to have 10 investment properties, and then I went through a 3.5-year divorce, and we got rid of all those. That was fun. But I'm telling you, if you're in real estate, you need to be in real estate. Invest in it. If you did one home every single year for the next 15 years, and then you made payments successively towards your mortgage, by the time your 15th purchase rolled around, you'd own one of the homes free and clear. And then all of a sudden, you're building a great retirement possibility for yourself. And you can build that up. You can do 1031 exchanges. There's so many ways to exercise great wealth building in real estate. If you don't take advantage of it, you're missing the boat on a lot of different opportunities. So keep that in mind. Go through this, but we've already covered it. This is what I just really want to enforce that stuff. So this is what I did last night. I sat there and said, okay, when I was out in California, the Mike Ferry event, I'm sitting out there with some top brokers. We get together at this guy's house in Huntington Beach. We all sit around, we have cocktails and just talk about what we're seeing in the market. And we're all from different sectors. We got some from Florida, some from the north, some from California. And we just share what's going on and what we're seeing. And the trend has gone from 1 or 2 people saying that they're seeing the upper end market start to have some cracks in it, to now everybody was saying we're seeing a slowdown in this market. And there's a bunch of different theories that go on behind why. And I started looking at it going, what does it really mean for our little pocket right here in North Atlanta? What can we take from it? And so first I want to look at Atlanta as a whole and go, let's look at some different price ranges and really see if there's things that we might want to look out for moving forward and why it might be an opportunity as opposed to sitting there running on fear of what may be happening. You look at it and go, where's the opportunity within this wedge? So I went from 2 to 300,000, 3 to 400 in the $100,000 block. Notice it's all of Atlanta's market. I didn't stop there. We're going to go down to the second line. But obviously, you can see as the price ranges go up, your months of inventory, that's MOI. So top number is actives, then solds for the last 6 months, and then months of inventory. So 2 to 300,000 across Atlanta, there's about 4 plus or minus, about 4 months worth of inventory. That's a pretty darn strong market. That is a seller's market 100%. 3 to 400,000, you go to a 5-month supply of inventory. That's also a seller's market. Great market to be selling homes. You get to $400,000 to $500,000, and here's your threshold line that is still a balanced market, but it's 6.613. What I'm going to tell you guys is this is where you want to start watching right here, $400,000 to $500,000. For the first time that I've seen these numbers, it's the first time it's gone above 6 months. Below $500,000 has been performing very well up to the last 6 or so months in this market. And this is something to start paying attention to. You creep up an inch above $500,000 and look at how it jumps up 9.18 months worth of inventory from $500,000 to $750,000. Now, if we just went over those numbers, you'd go, well, that might not be that big of a deal. But what might be of interest for you in this specific pocket that you see out there going on right now that's going to have more demand hitting that specific price point right there and beyond? What is that?
The step-up buyers coming from those.
I'm not talking about buyers, I'm talking about
Building.
what are you building? New construction. You see the dirt all over the place turning over there. What price range are they starting to hit? It's not the 2s, 3s, and 4s that it was 2 or 3 years ago. Every neighborhood you see coming in here, except for one on Old Atlanta Road that is a empty nester neighborhood where they're getting a lot of homes per acre out of. They're driving in, they're slapping the homes upside one another. It's 55 and over neighborhood. They're starting in the mid 300s there now, which that was in the 200s. Now it's in the mid 3s on any of the empty nester product coming out there. So land value is driving all the prices up. You couple that with an already softening market in the 500s and up, 5 to 750. And all of a sudden you're sitting there going, okay, with all this other inventory coming out, if this market's starting to soften, what's going to happen in the next 6 months to a year is all this inventory of the new construction starts to be popped out there on a softening market.
They're gonna have to drop from the seller.
You're going to have to drop them to sell.
Drop the
So,
prices.
Here's the deal. Might these be overpriced? That might be a part of the reason that we're seeing a softening in the market. It's not necessarily the demand has dropped off and they don't want to buy it. It could be that these homes are overpriced for what they're offering the consumer, and the consumers are passing a good bit of these up. And I'm seeing that a lot right now. I'm looking at communities like Laurel Springs, St. Marlowe, Three Chimneys, Chattahoochee River Club. You're seeing homes that are off the mark. The people are not updating their homes, and the homes are sitting. Although around them, homes are going on the market that have all the detail and the nice work inside, and those things are popping off the market. There's a home in Old Atlanta Club, $575,000. The guy put it on Zillow. And guess what? And multiple offers within 2 days. That'll be his second highest price sale in Old Atlanta Club. And he's only paying the agent 2% because he said, hey, I've got all these other offers coming in if you want it. So he told me that. I'm going, wow. His home had been done very nicely, and it had the appeal that people are looking for today, and it was on the golf course. But the second highest price in Old Atlanta Club in over 10 years. And a seller put it on the market, but put it on Zillow. So what I want to tell you guys is this. On that, we need to be watching out and making sure that our value as realtors is very specific, and you need to be raising your game each and every day, because you're going to have stories like that. Do you think in Old Atlanta Club, this guy's very socially connected too? You think in Old Atlanta Club, people are going to start talking about that? Oh, wow, he went for sale by owner, just stuck it on Zillow. He didn't stick it, by the way, he didn't stick it on any other site. Now, if he'd asked me, where should I price it? I'd have said, with everything that you've got, he has a 3-car garage, finished basement, 5-floor master up on the golf course, nice fire pit in the back. I'd have said, push it to $599.9 and see if you can get that buyer to come in here, because the home that sold at $582 was actually stuck on a 2-car garage. And he had the brick, he had the 3-car garage, and he had more square footage. So I pushed him up to $599.9, but he sold it in 1 day for $575. Now that home's not even in FMLS. The exact same floor plan just went on the market to an agent that doesn't know the neighborhood, and it went on the market at $550,000. I wanted to reach out to that agent and say, hey, dimwit, you need to raise the price. But they're probably going to have multiple, and this was a lot of custom features in it and stuff. You need to go check it out, man, because it's $550,000.
Today.
It's the best value on the market in Old Atlanta Club right now.
Go on it.
But this is the stuff that's going on out there. So watch this. This is going to be very interesting to watch this number going forward. And I'm only speaking it from the perspective of, if you know your future has new homes hitting the market significantly in this pocket and in the area that you're working, then you need to make sure that the people that have homes listed in these price ranges, these are going to be your emergency calls. Going, hey, right now, if the home hadn't sold in the first 30 days, you need to be sounding the fire bell, going, hey, you know what? We've got a lot of new construction coming in around here. They're all going to be 4s, 5s, 6s, and up. You need to get your home sold before this new market hits, and you need to do the things that you got to do to get the price. Do not say, I don't want to do that. I'll let the person do that. The other person. Leverage this information to get people to change their patterns. Homes are selling every day, and if your home is sitting, it ain't going to change. The market's already passed it by. Said, no, thank you. Change the condition, change the price, get it going. But this is what I'm starting to see. So how can we parlay this into having a conversation here? It's huge around here. The next 6 months to a year is going to change the face of this market around here because of the inventory that's going to be built in the new construction. So pay attention to it. The other thing is, as you go up, look at this. 750 to $1 million, 14 months of inventory. 1 to 1.5, 18.5 months worth of inventory, and 1.5 to 2, 22 months of inventory. This is all of Atlanta. So let me ask you this: what happens in the price range of, let's say, 6s and 7s, when the people down here that have a $750 to $1 million home can't sell their home? What's going to happen with those homes? They're either going to expire and the people didn't have to sell, or they're going to go back to the bank and they will be repopulated as an REO property. But 14 months of inventory, that's a long market, okay? Your average balance market is 6 months. The market that's okay that you're selling your home but you really want to pay attention to is 6 to 9 months. And when you get beyond 9 months, it is a price tight and do things you really didn't think you wanted to do to get the home sold, but just get out of that market and move on with your life. That's when you get above 12 months, that's what you got to do. But what'll happen down there is as those homes don't sell, what are they gonna have to do? Adjust their prices down, which will get them in this category, which is gonna have a downward pressure on these homes, right? So normal supply and demand. So if you can't get it sold there, you gotta drop it down to get it gone. Starts coming down in here, what's gonna apply some pressure here. So I'm not saying this is absolutely what's gonna happen, but when you're looking at the numbers of the months of inventory, you sit there and go, hey, is that a strong possibility that that can happen? Absolutely. And by the way, as new homes come into that market, it's only gonna get worse for them. Because in that price range, people are gonna be wanting new stuff, not a resale with the golds and the browns that we talked about a couple weeks ago. That makes sense? So I thought this was very important for you guys to see this. If I'm serving a market of 2s, 3s, 4s, even up to the $500,000 price range, I'm feeling pretty good. But I really want to pay attention above 500 in that market. What I will encourage you guys to do is do what I did last night. This took me 10 minutes to sit down there and do this. All you got to do is go into FMLS, hit your school district. Go in there and do, let me see how many actives are in the market. You unplug the pending sales and all that stuff. That doesn't count as they sold yet. So you go in there and you unplug that and you just hit the actives. You go, hey, I'm going to go $100,000 blocks. Follow this format right here. Find out what your high school district is. See if it matches up with, oh my gosh, you know what? Here's a little wedge I need to be paying attention to. By the way, also, do you think a lot of these homes will be expiring up here? Yeah. So if I was focused on calling expireds, I might want to kind of focus on a little higher price point and kind of get to know a little bit more about that, knowing that that's going to be a reasonable amount of opportunity right there moving forward. But how well do you know the market out there? How well do you know the new homes? How well do you know what's selling? The great thing about the market today, when I looked at the charts and graphs from Keeping Current Matters, it said 87 to 89% of people that bought, regardless of their price range, 87 to 89% felt that using an agent was worthwhile as long as the agent was a professional and an expert. 87% goes down to the millennials. So if you go, hey, how do the millennials feel about us? Well, they don't feel good about us if we don't go out there and provide that stockbroker type experience. The person that knows their market inside and out that can create value and have them realize I need to protect my interest in the investment I'm doing. I need to work with an agent that knows this market, that can educate me and make sure that my money does not go down the tube. Yes?
What geographical area did this cover?
It's all of Atlanta.
All of them, okay, thank you.
100% of Atlanta's market. Well, let's put it this way, the FMLS system, which covers about 38 counties.
Thanks.
Okay. Good question. Anybody else? Because this is what I'm focused on today, is where is the market going? And then you couple that with the election that we're getting ready to go into and the mud that's going to be slung from both sides, the crap that's going to be communicated about from the media, stuff that's going to happen around the world. You don't control any of that. What you do control is how you look at the market, how you interpret the market, and are you willing to get engaged with your friends, your sphere of influence, your neighbors, so that at the end of the day, when they know 20 other realtors, which trust me on this, one person knows more than one realtor. The question is going to be when they make the call to list their home or go look at buying a home, are you the one that looks like the best and most knowledgeable one? Or are you the one that they look at more as, well, that's just my friend that's in real estate? Where are you in that world? The people that are in the slice of mine where people are going, hey, they're a consultant for me. They are my safeguard. If I'm going to do anything in real estate, I believe my friends will call me first to go, hey, will you come talk to us? And heck, I got a call from my wife's. I was like, okay, Jason called me to find out what's going on in the market. Hey, I'm thinking about doing this. Could you come help me out? And go, well, I think that's a pretty good testament that your ex, your wife's ex calls you to ask questions when he's got a very good friend that's also a realtor. So that's where you want to be positioned. And it doesn't take much, but it does take one word. What is that? Work. Work. Okay? So.
Pardon me.
Yeah, okay. Hey, by the way, let's give this.
I was doing Yahoo for Yahoo and getting lunch and stuff.
Hey, Robert, hold on. Let's acknowledge the young man. By the way, he got down to the smallest pair of pants he's had on in how long?
Yeah. 25 years. But it sounds like she's got good food.
So But that's cool stuff. He just put those, I've never seen you with those pants on. He goes, finally got into 36s and stuff. Damn, he beat me. All right, so any questions or comments about this? Any questions or comments about what I've delivered to you today and what my mission is? And anybody think that I'm retiring? Anybody think that I'm wanting to get out of the business? Anybody question anything in regard to that? Now, I will tell you this. I am in the business. I do things with Century 21 where I have to travel. Today, I am going to NAR in Washington, D.C. because this is their week that they go up to Washington, D.C. and we got to go tomorrow. We go into the congressional offices of congressmen and we go in there and pitch and help them make best decisions around laws that they're talking about. So tomorrow, that's what I'll be doing. And then Thursday or Friday morning, I'll be coming back. But I'm not going to go on a vacation. I'm going to be a part of NAR and going to the lobby, basically. Yes.
So everybody's on the same page. When we're asked, when we're out doing our spiel, what should we tell them you're doing with Century 21 now? So everybody knows. We're not saying different things. What would you like?
I'm not there to kill it.
We know that. But I'm saying as a position
What
within
is our
your
PR
company.
response statement?
I'm basically like the CEO. I'm visionary. I'm going, our vision is we're going to engage in our business around the agents. We're going to get more in their business and help them keep their costs down. I'm focused on delivering the best products so that you guys have a better opportunity to go sell more homes, period. That's what it's about, and I'm more focused on that than I ever have been. That's the message. So
Okay.
if they want to be a part of something, and by the way, we don't pay agents to bring us on. You know, my whole thinking is, if we can create such a good value that you guys want people to come on because you believe, one, they'll be a good addition to this team, I'd rather you do that than have to pay you to bring somebody in here. That should, win it by earning it, not paying for it, period. And I don't want to get into a relationship where you're going out there and you're calling people going, hey, I know I'm really just calling you to try and BS you to come over here so I can make a couple nickels off of you. The reality is we're going to help you sell more homes, and we want you to engage with people that will come in here, fit in well with us, and be focused on selling homes. That's my mission, period. And we're going to stay on that mission. We're going to keep getting better at it. We've got a lot of things in the hopper of what we're going to be doing over the summer months as far as different programs that we're going to be introducing. But we're doing it in a way where it's like I don't want to overload things with the staff. So like the dot loop stuff, I've said, you know what, you guys are going to control and we roll it out because I don't want to overburden them. So we're doing things systematically, but we're not going to stop continuing to grow. We're not going to stop continuing to offer different products for you guys to go out there and have a better opportunity, period. So continuous growth, yes.
To answer to your question, this is how I see this. We have 14 staff members, so we can go out and do what we do best. And I've been carrying the Gabby, so we can go out and do what we do best. That's how I see the.
I look at it, I want to be able to get out there and get in the field more with people and help them in some of the business applications that are going on out there. Really get involved in different pricing things. If people want help on listing, I'm going to be more involved in helping people procure stuff that they're having trouble with, period. So for me, it's about bringing in more dollars into this company by being more available to go out and do field studies and implement in your business, period. And that's what I'm excited about. Yeah.
We do have one announcement, and I hope you can promise things like this at your sales meeting. So if you'd like to read that, then read that. Because what did I say last week? If you go to the luncheon at the Reserve at Old Atlanta, I have a very good feeling someone here may win something. Y'all remember that?
Go ahead and announce.
So I believe Mandy Newton won a $300 gift card at Nordstrom. Oh, and then it said, tell Phil Salamone 9 cards didn't help. So Teresa to call it.
Okay.
So, Sarah, do you have anything that you want to say?
I'll be brief. I just want to let everyone know on Friday we moved our offices. So for those of you who came to our meet and greet and saw the temporary space or the space that was being constructed, it's final and we moved in on Friday. So those of you who need an area in Lawrenceville to meet clients or just come scan or call or anything like that, that space is open to you all. Now we are in that location. Other than that, I just want to say, and this is something Jeff, we kind of, or whatever lenders you're using. I know a lot of you are having issues with knowing what's going on the loan side of things because of TRID and the privacy. Is everybody kind of still having difficulty with that?
Yes.
Okay. We really don't have a resolve to that, and someone asked me the other day, is there a resolution to this? Is there a way we can, get back control of our transactions? And right now, there's really no answer to that. There's no bypassing TRID. I mean, you have to get your clients really involved in sending you the information they receive from the lender, because Jeff's offices, they have to send out to the buyers, and then the buyer has to forward to you, whatever communication they have with Jeff. Is that kind of what's going on?
Yeah, like the CD, the buyer gets it, up to them if they want to share it with you guys.
And everybody's frustrated about that because they're like, we didn't get the CD. I'm like, well, your client has it. They need to forward it to you, and I can't do anything about sending it out. Jeff can't send it out we really can't stipulate for that. We can send the ALTAs out to everyone because we have a form that provides for that, but we can't stipulate and go beyond and send out CDs to you without the buyer being involved in actually sending it themselves. Any questions about anything in general or anything you're seeing that you might have a concern about contract closing that I can help with? Okay. Good. Just give me a call if you guys have anything come up.
And we have Denise that would like to say something about West Moss.
West Moss from Mending Matters is coming to WCR at the 1818 Club on May 19th. And he'll be doing a book signing and giving advice if anybody needs financial advice, so.
And you did have a learning experience that just happened recently. What would you do?
For my closing. Is that the one?
No, the one from a couple weeks ago.
The HOA? Oh, I had a contract where my seller didn't check off the wrong box. He didn't think there were any covenants and restrictions in the neighborhood. So at 28 days later, when we went to close, the seller says, I don't want to buy this property because.
The buyer says.
The buyer said, yeah, I'm not buying the property because there's an HOA and I can't park my RV there. So with the help of Rob, he told them, I ended up writing a reply to them that they couldn't send me a TNR because that right was gone, because they're out of their due diligence, plus some help from Sarah. And we ended up negotiating to the price down to pay for their parking till the covenants expired, and we were able to go forward with the contract.
Covenants expired, how long was that?
It was almost 20 years old, and after 20 years, the covenant, we had 4 more years to go.
So, what would you have done? 28 days, due diligence is beyond. It is buyer beware state, right? Everybody agree with that? Georgia's a buyer beware state, which means if you miss something in the contract, doesn't matter if, it happens. So, in this case, was the buyer, if the buyer said, if I can't park that, I've got an RV here. If I can't park it, I'm not buying the home. You're a day out of closing, and there is no covenants, which your seller obviously made a bad mistake. Not fraudulently, just made a mistake.
Estimated billing.
What if you're the buyer's agent? What if you're the buyer's agent?
Never hurts to make a phone call to your closing attorney and say, hey, are there any covenants on any previous titles for this community? And ask that question if you're in doubt, or if it's that important to your client, you should ask the question.
You need to do it. So, I mean, buyer beware. Now, let me tell you this. If I were the buyer's agent, I said, well, you can take him to court. He's not closing, and we'll see what happens, because your seller is the one that messed up, basically. Now, who knows what would have happened? You'd have to go to court to find out if there was a standoff and a stalemate. You'd have to go to court to find out who would be wrong and who would be right, and move on from there. But it did get worked out and managed through, which most of the situations that you come across out there can be. Amanda Staines had a deal the other day. She texted me and said, hey, I've got this situation. We're through due diligence, and the people said they're not going to move now because she's representing the buyer. The sellers aren't going to move now because the husband fell and hurt his hip, and it's just health reasons. And they wanted him out, and they sent over the unilateral termination. And she called me saying, what do I do? And I said, no, you hammer back really hard, really fast right now, and let them know we're going to sue for commissions. You're going to sue for damages, the buyer is, and we're going for blood. Now, I'll tell you guys the reality of this. Do we do that? No. But what happens is if you go back firm and hard with that and say, my broker's a jerk, he is not gonna let you out of the contract, we're gonna sue you for every dime we possibly can. Go read the contract, see the defaulting party, and see what they gotta do. They gotta pay the brokers immediately upon default. Both brokers, the full commission, and they are liable for damages that could be caused, like the inspection already been done, they paid for, the buyers paid for that, the appraisal already been done. You could have moving expenses that the buyers would have had to go through temporarily. You could have a whole bunch of things that they could go sue for, of damages. When we laid all that out, all of a sudden, guess what happened? The tone changed. Well, you know what, give us a day. So Amanda said, what should I do? I said, give them a day. It's an older couple, they're going through hysteria right now. Give them a day. We've now communicated back to them, here's our stronghold, you need to read the contract and understand what's coming at you. You got 30% chance of having those buyers or sellers, when you go back with that force, changing their direction, just a 30% chance. But if you don't come back firm and strong, you got a 0% chance. So she went back, and right now, that's in process to go ahead and close. But you got to know what's in those contracts. And the other broker said, oh, well, things happen, you got to move on. No. That's not the communication we're giving to those people. So if you have any questions or situations, get in touch with me, get in touch with Rob, Deb. If we don't know the answer, we'll get in touch with Sarah, Randy over at Michael and Gray, and we'll get the answer so that you know what's going on. But you'd be amazed at how many times we can change the direction of a negative outcome.
I just want to add, on that transaction we just discussed with Denise had, there were two other issues that fell into play. Know your parties, because the buyer that was trying to terminate or say he was terminating because of the covenants was an attorney. So he had a higher due diligence or higher standard to meet because he was an attorney. He should know these things. Seller disclosure in Georgia, as you may or may not know, is not a legal requirement. So the disclosure part where she checked no on covenants, that would be considered something probably in front of a judge that the buyer should have already looked for. He'd already asked for repairs that had been completed. So he was using this covenants as an out, I think, at the end of the day. And we weren't going to allow him to just walk away because he should have known that first and foremost right when he did the contract, especially being an attorney. So you got to know kind of when you have that situation, know your people involved, because an attorney versus another just regular person would have two different standards to meet in court, and that's just the way it is.
And the seller's disclosure form, it says to the best of their ability, so it doesn't have to be 100% accurate. It's not on the onus of the seller for filling it out wrong. If they filled out fraudulently, that's one thing. But if it's an error, buyer beware.
And one more thing, the GSCCCA does say that there was restrictive covenants in that. So if you look it up, you'll see if there has covenants in the neighborhood, which is something I didn't know before.
What's GFCCA? The Georgia
State
Superior Clerk's website. It's where you can find all the deeds and everything.
Liens and all that stuff.
Easy for you to say, sir.
So, we are done. Y'all have a fantastic, productive day. What are the luncheons that we got going on? Oh, wait, one more. Oh. Go up. Tell us what it is.
Oh, all right. The listing contest that we've got going on. Now, drum roll. Change your players. Okay, now, the team in the lead for number of listings taken is Team Avengers, and if you don't know which team you're on, it's outside. And the leader for dollar volume of listings taken is the Terminators with 5.295 billion. So well done, guys.
By the way, it's going to be a nice night out for the winning two teams. So get behind it, get some listings out there. Y'all have a fantastic day. And I'm focused. Let's go. Yeah. Yes, these are new affiliated business arrangements. These are what you need to be having signed versus what you have been having signed. So Rita will be putting this up so it'll be automatically in your packets. Get people to sign as soon as possible. Yes.
Just so you know, Yaju's 3 open houses. She has lunch at 1, dessert at another, and a third draw. And it starts at 11:30. It's not on your page. 11:30 to 1:30.
And it's in James Creek, which is literally 5 minutes down the way. Go support. Y'all have a fantastic day.